Like really,
Three,
I could.
2, 1.
We're
So
doing
what
this
happened
again.
to you?
That was just the Kelly mood board. Whoops.
How you even managed to mess out?
That is great, bro. Love Jonathan Allen.
No man accidentally drove a mood board.
Nice. All right, welcome to episode 11 of BTA Podcast. I am Ali, joined by Dillon.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
Lachlan.
actually start?
Yes, you
Hello.
started. Neat.
What do you mean?
Sharma. Well, Sharma's passive listening. And me. Wait, I said me at the start. Whoops.
Damn. Ali, you're so important.
Damn, so you
got
damn
to say
important.
that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man thought he would get 20 episodes in, so he's like, yeah, well, I special now. Renowned podcaster.
He's also prepared to do this by himself, so.
Yes, sir. I was just gonna sit down and play chess for like an hour.
You had really worse.
What else am I gonna do, man? Right? Like,
Bruh.
anyways, how are y'all doing today? I'm gonna just repost the Kelly mood board.
Please
I
do.
woke up like
I
10
don't know
minutes
what it looks
ago.
like. Yeah, I understand that. Me too, Nikolai.
Y'all know that?
Nah, but you didn't wake up 10 minutes ago. That's the thing.
No, I wake up when I shared the video earlier.
I don't know when you shared it with you. I was asleep.
Like an hour and 10 minutes ago or something.
Bruh, the first thing I did upon waking up was critique somebody's class diagram for a project and then like rework a diagram that I did. And I actually do mean that I woke up like 10 minutes ago. I just, in that 10 minutes, I did 2 group projects with 0 sleep or any concern for what I'm doing. So I'm just going to hope that they're going to hit it with the due criticism and work from there instead of just being like, oh, I guess that's the answer. And then just put it into the document.
What number does that
You want to
translate
join the
to on the
group?
Kelly mood board?
That's a 6 still.
Alright, nice. I feel a solid 9.
I am a steady 4.
Bro, you feeling good today, bro?
Oh no!
What's up?
If that good, then I'm a
Not
steady 3.
Lachlan.
Like a 3-4.
No,
Oh,
not
never
you,
mind.
Lachlan. I just
Okay, I was just
I
being.
would say he's a strong 9
Yes, sir.
today.
He is carrying the
okay.
rest of us in terms of emotions.
Dillon, what about you?
Crazy.
Nah, that's a good 6.
Nice.
Happy.
A
Alright.
contented 6.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by the following struggle tweet. Dillon, please go ahead and read this out.
The crime I want my girl committed is murder when she killed me.
Reasonable.
And thank you. Reminder, you can
Rest
follow
in
us
peace.
on Twitter at BTA Struggle TWTS for occasional struggle tweet content. It's not very consistent. Anyways.
When you get a post, you will like it.
Just take what you get, come on.
I mean, you're not paying for it, so unless
It's a
you
free
want
world.
to.
I would gladly accept money. I would like post 2 times a day if people paid me to. Anyways, any like more general things y'all want to talk about before we get into anything? Because maybe someone's group project earlier. Alright. At the request of Lachlan, we're going to talk about all the media we have consumed this week because he apparently has a lot.
Yes, just a lot of things that stood out to me.
Go ahead, Lachlan.
So the first one was that for the past 3 weeks mainly, I've been binge reading Slam Dunk, which we discussed last night on a call. But basically, earlier this year, I watched all 3.5 currently existing seasons of Haikyuu, and it taught me a lot about the game of volleyball. And throughout my entire life, I've wanted to get interested in basketball because it looks like the coolest sport, and also because everyone's always told me that because I'm a 6'3" person, I should be playing basketball. And I've never wanted to dig into the stereotype, but I've also always really wanted to gain a little more interest in basketball. And after I got into Haikyuu, I was told that Slam Dunk is like the greatest sports manga that ever existed. And I finished reading it this morning, and it is correct because it is genuinely just really amazing. You can feel all the passion for the sport in it. I did indeed learn a lot about the game of basketball. The last few chapters did actually make me want to cry, which is weird for a manga about a sport. But I genuinely felt, I don't know, I genuinely felt so many emotions just like reading what happened and like seeing how far the characters had come, which was really nice. It's a really good series. It's like I think early '90s to like mid '90s it was serializing. Highly recommend it. Otherwise, I watched a few movies this week. There's two that mainly stood out to me. One was last week when I was not here. I had gone to watch the New Mutants, and it was bad. It was very, very bad. Like the plot was very predictable, and then once it stopped being predictable, it just became plain stupid. Like there were so many things they didn't explain. There's this one Russian girl who's like in the plot for the whole time, and they never explain her well. Like she just goes off and she does things, and whenever she uses her power or like does anything, or like they show flashbacks or anything about her, they do not clearly explain what the fuck's going on, and it's all just so weird and so confusing that you do not understand. The only good thing about that movie is that the main character is Native American, and I do appreciate representation in all forms, especially for one of the most marginalized groups in history. So that's nice.
Maisie Williams' character, right?
No, Maisie Williams was Irish.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, but Maisie Williams was like the best performance in the movie.
Because
it was like the main girl.
Ilyana Rasputin was magic. Oh wait, no, I can't remember.
Oh, she was supposed to be magic. That explains it. Why the fuck did they have a magic-based character in a Mutants movie anyway?
Her name is Magic, I think.
Magic, yeah, Magic is a character who's like based around magic, and that explains so much of what she did.
Yeah, Magic
but
with a K.
does not explain why she was in a movie about mutants.
She's a mutant. A K and was like, yeah, that's her name now.
No, she's a mutant. She's a Colossus' sister.
Wait, she is? What?
Ilyana Rasputin?
That makes no sense.
As if like if she was the one in the movie,
she did in that movie made sense.
Yeah, that is Magic.
Alright. Sure. It was Blue Hunt. Blue Hunt was Native American. She's cool.
What is that?
I don't know. I didn't hear of her until this movie. But anyway, so yeah, trash movie. It was so stupid.
That's
it made zero sense.
Okay.
Yeah. It made zero sense. There was a giant bear for a lot of it. The main character is a huge threat.
The villain was a giant bear.
Kind of. I don't know what to explain. Like explaining, it's like.
You even watched this movie?
Yeah, like when you show you watch this movie?
No, because like I could explain. It's just like I don't know if to spoil it or not. It's basically
I was watching with his eyes closed.
It's basically like the bear is technically a villain because the bear does a bunch of bad stuff, but the bear is not necessarily an entity in and of itself. It is like a created entity.
That sounds like on par with X-Men, bro.
All I can think of is all these X-Men running around fighting a normal bear. Just a normal bear.
No, it's a big bear. They're like smoke stuff.
Some of these X-Men are
It's a giant demon bear, okay?
Some of these X-Men suck.
I reject that wholeheartedly.
Oh, Drew, that
but yeah, it was. Imagine how I felt watching it meet.
Watching was just a regular ass bear.
The entire movie is just them fighting a fucking bear. I mean, it could have been. But yeah, in conclusion,
it's kind of strong in it.
I mean, yeah. In conclusion, New Mutants was garbage. Maisie Williams was like the only good thing about that movie. That's about it. But then last week, a movie that I did actually enjoy a bit more was that I think Sharma's been trying to get me to like watch more Bollywood movies and stuff. I guess to appreciate culture. Yeah. So I watched what was it? It was like Kalho Naho, I think was what it was called.
Oh, no.
And
I don't even know, bro. I don't watch Bollywood either.
I mean,
I think Sharma's literally the only one that watches Bollywood here.
Yeah. But yeah, so she got me to watch it, and it was an experience. looking back on it, it's pretty much everything I would have expected from a Bollywood movie. It was 3 hours long. The plot was, it wasn't like one plot line that was like built up over time. It was like the plot starts here, and then now we're here, and now this is happening. But it's not like it's all over the place. It's more so like everything, like it's like a zigzag where it's like the plot starts here, and then it's going to go to dream to this position, and after it gets to this position, it's going to start walking somewhere else, and it does that throughout the entire 3 hour movie.
It's like it's
So it's
trying to
just
be
like
a series in a movie.
kind of, but I mean, it's not like, because of just like how high the production value is and like how clearly how much time is spent on it. It all works really well. It's just so much movie in one, and then there's also like subplot lines as well with like all the characters
You getting
going
bang for your
on.
buck.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, you will not like not be satisfied. And then of course there's like the giant musical numbers that are all like 5 minutes long, and the songs are way too catchy for their own good that they get stuck in your head.
That's
I don't
like
know if
Sounds
the
like you had a
plot. Yeah,
fantastic time, Lachlan.
I had a very interesting time because it was like it was just it's just that's a new experience, because like I've
Very
never like
true.
really, yeah, I've never really like experienced something to that degree. Like I've seen some foreign movies. I've watched Parasite. I've seen half of Rashomon.
that is less than
But
some.
like those,
You literally need one and a
Yeah,
half.
yes,
yeah, I
precisely
know
one
I've
and a
seen
half
it,
actually.
and I have watched a fair number of anime movies. I don't know if those
Those
count.
don't count. Don't count.
They
Those,
are
why do
foreign
those not
films.
count?
Because I
What do
They
say
are
so.
foreign films.
I say that they count,
Hmm.
but
But yeah, I
also
don't
watch more things, Lachlan.
know. But yeah, I don't know. It just got me think. It did get me thinking as well, because like, culturally speaking, it was nice to like experience like this grand thing that was like linked to like something that was, like curry like thousands of years old. Like, of course, like a lot of Indian culture and stuff goes like back like thousands of years old. Like I would like ask Sharma about things, and she would like explain in detail like why things are the way they are, and like explain like how things go back to like history and like certain things. And of course, like growing up, I never really got to, like, it's not really like, a thing I've gotten to experience, because of reasons and history of the world. But yeah, it was a neat experience to like have that exposure to like such like a big grand culture, and like to see it on display in such a big way. And I would definitely want to see more of them later, just to see how much they vary. Even though for whatever reason I have this strange feeling that they're all kind of like the same but also very different.
Nice.
Oh,
And that's my impression of Bollywood as a whole. Like they're all some form of romance movies with like giant dance numbers and like plots that
That
do a
isn't
lot just
that
for
isn't
shock value.
particularly true. Well, that last part is. But like, I will say this: the one Bollywood movie that I love to death is Slumdog Millionaire, and I advise that everybody go
Does
watch
that
it.
count as Bollywood?
Yeah.
Yes, it is literally
Yeah,
Bollywood.
I've never seen it in full. I've seen parts of it.
It's great. You should.
It was great.
Yeah,
It was great.
love Slumdog Millionaire.
I come back
Mhm.
to say good night to Nikolai.
Good night, Nicholas.
Good night.
my
Good
get
night to all the
hotel.
viewers too.
Okay, good night, guys.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, Kale.
Very good.
Good night.
I'm marking it up 10
Very
on the
nice.
attendance. Oh, you go ahead.
No one was not attempting to take you on, big man.
But yeah, look, when we said about, them like cramming a lot of content into a movie, it reminds me of like, I don't know if you've seen Watchmen,
The TV show or the
the movie by Zack Snyder.
No, because I have the graphic novel I was going to read, and I left it in Canada.
Oh yeah, I
so
remember
haven't
you
seen it
have
yet.
that. You should read it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I left it in Canada.
God damn it. But anyways, yeah, the point is that Watchmen is, the plot's fantastic. It's just that it's a ridiculous amount of content that they try to shove into a feature film, which just never
No,
works
yeah.
well.
Yeah, because like I've experienced movies like that where it's like they try to do so much that they take away from everything. But again, the Bollywood movie is, for one, it's not necessarily like there's so much going on at once. It's more like it's a chain of things that happen, so they give everything the time it needs, and then they go on to like an entirely different plot. Kind of like Parasite, but not necessarily, because like, you know how Parasite is like every half an hour Parasite is like a different movie. I found,
Kind of.
but like it's sort of like that, except it's not necessarily as drastic of a change between the parts of the movie. It's a lot more consistent. It's just more like a lot of different plot events happen, And of course, they balance that all out by making the movie 3 hours long and having so much time for all of these plot events to happen. It's like it reflects life more, I think, because it's not necessarily like, oh, we're going to be following like this one train of thought throughout the entire thing. It's like multiple things happen and like things change over time and like feelings change over time, and it's just like a cycle of things until it reaches an end point.
Oh, we lost
Yeah.
the body. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was definitely an interesting experience that I would like to have something similar to. And it was nice, like experiencing with someone who clearly like knew what was going on and actually like had appreciation for it and could like probably explain it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dillon, do you have any interesting media that you consumed this week?
Watching the Haunting of Bly Manor. That's about it. I really can't tell you what's going on, to be honest, but it's very engaging. No, I mean,
Bruh, you just start opening your eyes when
Yeah,
you
it's like
watch it.
Lachlan with
Like,
the New
I don't know.
Mutants.
I don't know how to like.
Okay, no, I watched the New Mutants. I just did not understand it.
Well, yeah, Dillon, like you don't know anything
every,
that's going on?
No, I know what's going on. I mean, I don't know how to talk about it properly without giving spoilers, but essentially, it's like, every episode
no
reveal
attempt.
another.
Because the last time I hear you try to explain the premise or something to somebody, you just explained the whole damn movie.
Anyway,
Hey.
basically, it's a nice mystery trying to figure out what's going on, and every little episode is like throwing, a little extra, like he's learning a little bit more,
A
and
little
then
some
but
special.
then a little some, and then just make it a little bit more complicated again by training another like
Another little
that's
some.
it don't feel like yeah
Like a
usually
piece of
when they
ginger.
add like when they add something to like
What's he well?
Yeah, like what the?
when when they add like a little thing just for drama and it's just for drama and it don't make any sense. It at least don't feel like that. It's feel like that makes sense. So I reached like episode 7 of 9, and I'll tell you next week, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah, man, true.
Neat, what about you?
Why do not speak to me about this? I am not intaking any new series or anything this week. I just caught up on all the things that I didn't catch up on before.
Nice.
Things that I'm
Like
reading.
what, meat?
Like Delicious in Dungeon, which everyone should read because it is very funny and very
I feel like you tell me I should read
actually
like everything.
heartwarming. Yeah, it's like tell you you should read everything because the reason I read it is 'cause I
Every
like.
few days, meat's just like, oh, you should read this. Are you reading this? You should read this.
I am literally co-opting this segment to tell everybody read Delicious in Dungeon, aka Dungeon Mesh. It is incredibly like there's a lot of passion put into the story. It's very funny. It's very good. Read it. You will not regret it.
Sharma says Ratchet in all caps. I've heard good things about it.
Sharma, do you want to talk about Ratchet?
Sharma was yelling at me. She's like, you started watching Ratchet? I was like, girl. I will watch it when I sit down to watch something. You can expect to come the next morning and be like, "Yo, did you watch Ratchet?" No,
Did you watch Ratchet?
no. Yeah, but
Sharma, do you want to talk about it or are you good? I'm gonna take a silence as a no.
yeah.
Well, you see, right?
Nah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Floor's yours. Go ahead.
It's one of the best shows that I've ever seen. And I normally tend to not watch that genre of like not even a genre like psychological thriller-ish something. But it was just really good,
Psychological
and
thriller is something.
it was really
Boy, the
good.
psychological thriller.
I binge watched the entire thing in one day when I shouldn't have done that, but I couldn't stop. It was that good, and you should watch it. I can't say anything because it'll spoil the whole thing.
Why are they bad at like
Kinda.
talking in vague terms, bro? Come on.
Very true.
Because we want people to experience the story.
I
But
used to just say
you could say some of it, you know?
Oh wait, I was like, yo, read Delicious in Dungeon. I didn't even attempt to say what it's about.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, because I was waiting.
Yellow Man. It
It's
is
like
a
one shot.
series
No.
about a group of adventurers that have to venture into a dungeon because of something that happens in the beginning. Like they go into the dungeon like as a job to begin with, because this adventurers go in like get gold and all that, whatever, classic adventure stuff. Uh, but then they have to venture deep into the dungeon in an attempt to save somebody. And the setup for how they need to save this person and why they need to save is very interesting. I won't like say exactly how it works, but it's not just like, oh, this person is at the bottom of the dungeon. It's like a very interesting setup. And they realize, oh wait, we just kind of got kicked out of the dungeon as this person got like in trouble. We don't have any supplies, like, but we need to go save them right now. We don't have any gold to buy food and stuff. We can't exactly just like have a fundraiser right now to get food. So then the group leader says, all right, well, we'll start by eating the monsters. Like that's what we'll do in order to get by. And it becomes basically a cooking series about different the very imaginative takes of creatures in the dungeon. Like very creative takes on classic monsters. And then like how they interact with them and really grounding them in the world by turning it into like a part of the cuisine of this area. And it is some of the best world building I've ever seen. It's very charming and there's a lot of really cool ideas. So yeah,
Who publishes this
read
genre? Because I've recently only been reading things by Shueisha.
it. It's not Shueisha.
Is
Or
it
it might be
Kodansha?
Shueisha. I don't think it's Shueisha. It's nothing Shonen Jump. It's not exactly a shonen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll find
One
it.
thing I'll say is that, like in this series, it treats death in a very interesting way because, like, in things like D&D and stuff, there's resurrection magic. Well, at the times, people don't really acknowledge that kind of stuff. Like, it's like when you playing like a fantasy game and you know that somebody in your party can use raise, but then a character dies for the story, and you're like, oh, well, why don't we just like raise them? And
No.
the in within the confines of the dungeon in this setting or any dungeon, when people die, they can be resurrected. So there's like this very kind of like a nonchalant attitude with death. Uh, and it engages it in a really interesting way, and that like adds to the interesting setup with the person that I need to see. And yeah, it's just a good time on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Except for when it's sad, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah. All right. My stuff that I watch this week is a lot less interesting and all of that stuff. But basically, I started
You
watching.
watch Mucha Lucha.
No. What?
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. You said I
What?
wasn't interested, so I was like, oh, Mucha Lucha.
No. But I was basically binge watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Oh god, that's the boost.
Because
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Generation
Generation
X. I
X.
love that series.
Yeah. Game on, get the game on. Yeah,
Get
that.
your game on.
You really getting your game on too. That's crazy.
It is exactly how I remembered it. Very dumb, but also kind of funny.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
But I will say,
Elemental Hero Neo.
I haven't reached that part yet, but like, I will say if you watch anything from the series, watch the first episode, because the first episode is great. The
When he
teacher's
uses
just,
Flame Wingman.
yeah, the teacher's just being an asshole, and then Jaden beats
Pretty
him in one
much.
turn. And it was really cool. I love Elemental Hero Flaming Man. Great card.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't love Elemental Hero Flame Wingman? Nikolai.
Come
on.
on. What by?
What was that?
You didn't express your love for Flame Wingman, so I assume you hated him.
Yeah.
What do you have against the
Yeah, you're
Flaming Man, bro?
I don't like him.
What he do you?
That's my beef with him.
Let him go. This is like how Jaden was win every single game, by the way. It's kind of tiring. He's literally just pulled the Flaming Man, like, yep. You lose the game now. Anyways, we're about
Simply
halfway
should
through.
not have gotten. Should not have let him summon Flaming.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's that simple. But yeah, we're
that's
about
kind of just
halfway
how the
through now.
game works in general, huh?
Everybody, go ahead and take a sip of water, please, for the water break.
Wow, my water is so far from me.
Why do you all just never expect the water breaks at this point? Because we do it every
No, I have
single week.
water. It's just I would have to reach for it.
You kidding me? Anyways, you all hydrated? You good?
No.
One word.
No,
Whatever.
we're all very much okay.
Whatever.
Next.
Anyways, yeah. Next, we have well, what we planned to talk about was the news from today was Trinidad is relaxing some of the lockdown measures.
Screaming into the void.
And you
Okay,
know
well,
what that means.
yeah, if you'll allow me
Like
to read out what the changes are. So, yeah, places of worship reopening for services no longer than an hour. Full public service return to work. Exemptions granted for post-secondary students to return to educational facilities to do lab work. Gyms at 50% capacity. Casinos, cinemas, and members club at 50% capacity, but they will not allow to be served food or drink. Beaches and coasts opened, but rivers and ponds remain closed. In-house dining at bars and restaurants will not resume. And apparently they're going to remove the exemption system currently be used for the repatriation of nationals. I don't know if that means that they're relaxing, the ways in which you are... Because the process right now is that you have to get an exemption before you could book any flight. I don't know if they're going to remove that practice and that you could just book without needing the exemption, at least through Caribbean Airlines. So yeah, what do y'all think?
I think
No
it's
thoughts
a bad
from
idea because they do this last time and everything. Like last time, we was in a better situation than we are now,
Yeah,
and
we don't have cases
get
going down right now. That's the
yeah
thing.
it get like 500% worse, and now it like down to like 200% worse than it was last time. Like it went down, and uh well, as Ali said, not like going up right now, but steady, and
Yeah.
they decide to lax it again, which don't make sense.
It's a bit strange. I did not expect
I
this to
mean,
come so soon.
yeah,
But these changes taking
they
in effect from Monday.
yeah, and it's not like everybody dummy, so like it had people going beach anyway, but now it just gonna everybody gonna be like, yeah, well, it's not illegal anymore, you know. So, yeah, everybody just gonna go and do what they have to do, and
Yeah.
then
the Sharma
they're
to
gonna
say,
get worse.
fellas, let me go beach.
Is that Sharma thing to do, you know?
That's incredibly a Sharma thing to do.
Yeah.
Nah, I sent a message like that today. Don't worry. And then
Nah.
Nah, lock me off.
it was a joke message.
Nah, I don't believe you. I simply don't.
Because it
And
was
then
illegal before, sure.
and yeah, it's going to get worse. And then the little liberties we were allowed, it's going to go away again. You know. And,
YBG, an endless cycle.
yeah, and then yeah, basically it's an endless cycle, and then we're gonna have to sit down here. Probably not gonna have one campus next semester, even though they open it back. And everybody's like, okay, well, if we could do labs, I mean, next semester we might have classes on campus, which probably not going to happen because it's going to get worse again. Also, I don't want to walk on campus with my mask. My poor glasses are gonna fog up so much, and it's hot, so hot.
Oh, no. I
Yeah,
actually don't mind the lab thing specifically. I think that's fine.
but that's fine. We'll get like a hybrid, as you said, Ali, a
Yeah,
hybrid.
we mentioned earlier. I was talking to you about that today, but yeah, I think they'll go to like hybrid approach and just let you all do like labs and practical stuff on campus and everything else
Yeah,
online.
because you can't do like okay, you can do certain kind of labs like online, but like if you had to do a lab, you had to do a titration. You don't have a burette in your house,
Yeah, because there are
and like
practical skills
with
that
the
need to be
point of
tested.
yeah, yeah, like biochem people like they have they get tested on the practical itself, not just your results and your write-up and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And like looking at the other stuff,
inaccessible for now.
I think the cinemas thing is just a reaction to the news that movies aren't going to schools now, and that's why they're doing that. Because they don't want the other
Yeah.
ones to close down.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no one who don't want the other one to close down. Corporate people just like, they
Yeah.
probably make a deal with government or something.
Well, like they probably just requested it, and they
Yeah.
made it happen.
Bit of lobbying for the board.
Yeah, I don't know. Beaches should not have reopened. That was my opinion.
Yeah, no.
Beaches should have stayed
Yeah.
closed, bro.
Not at all.
Because like I can't see the benefits behind that one. Like
'Cause
yes,
it's not
the
like
people
a-
selling bacon sharks can like be doing
You
to
can't
work, but at the
exactly
same
pull
time,
too much tourism right now.
And
Yeah.
So it's
as
like,
I said, you go into like, you had to wear a mask, right? Like you have to wear a mask in public. So you're gonna go to the beach with your mask, go in the water with your mask. Like you're just gonna waterboard yourself all day. Like, come on.
even if you
bro,
don't wear the
I just
mask
see
in the
men in
water, right?
Trinidad just be standing up looking like a cashier in their face, like 2 feet away, and their mask is like under their mouth. No Trinidadian is gonna go into the water with their mask.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
And I just don't like the idea of like sharing that all the water with so many people at this point in time.
I don't
Even like in a
understand why
practical
he's like,
sense, like the water itself might not be the biggest risk because of how big the ocean is, but it just scares
Kind
me.
of logical.
It just scares me. That's all.
he opened it and he was like, yeah, the beach is open, but don't congregate. Then you should just leave it closed.
Yeah, just don't open it. The people
Yeah.
that really, really, really want to go to the beach would go to the beach anyway.
Yeah, it has.
Now you're
people like-
opening the door for the man who'll be like, beach life, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really vibe with beaches. What else on the list?
So it's not like I can report them anymore.
I can't even report these men, man.
You have full public service returning to work. I'm not too sure about that
Yeah,
one. What was the
that is not
capacity
a good
before?
idea.
It was like 50%
It
before or
was-
something?
It was
I don't even know what it was
used to
before.
go at different days of the week.
Oh, okay. So now
Like,
just like
so instead of-
full.
Yeah. So instead of you working Monday to Saturday, or so what? Sorry, not Monday to Friday. You work like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then next week you work Tuesday, Thursday, and they will like split up the thing.
Huh.
That's how it
Yeah,
works.
that's how man was working how where I was
I
this
have
place
a friend working in the courthouse and what is and that's how you had to do it. You had to like come in 2 or 3 days a week, and you work for like not even not half shift, like a 3/4 shift, and then you go home.
Right.
Yeah. And even that wasn't working out because at least twice the office get like like a whole floor get closed down because it had somebody with COVID. So yeah. So I don't know how you're gonna work with everybody coming to work now. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna be able to social distance with everybody.
I mean, like in a lot of public offices, you have like the cubicles and stuff already, right?
Yeah.
So that might not be too bad. But like, how are you supposed to do like a conference, right? Like you'd still just be stuck doing virtual conferences and stuff like that.
Yeah. Basically, what we're saying is it don't make sense.
I don't think it's like the
And
most
they should-
practical thing.
Yeah.
But public
Should I
service is
just
more
leave
than
it
just
how
like
it goes?
offices and stuff, though, as well.
Yeah.
It's a very wide
You
umbrella.
think maybe they open? You think maybe they open beaches because lifeguards need to work?
Aren't lifeguards like volunteers? I don't even know.
Lifeguards are not volunteers.
If anybody has any like information about lifeguards, please let me know.
Your lifeguard intel, please.
Yeah, like you're going like further and further into niche research trying to analyze this. Like a lot of these decisions I would consider questionable. But stuff like in-house dining still being off limits, I think that's fine. We could live with just doing
Yeah,
takeout
but
for a little bit longer.
we can leave him. We can allow him. birthday.
I'm not gonna allow that man on his birthday. I'm looking to clout him.
Yeah. What else? Places of worship. That's a touchy subject.
Uh,
Stay in your damned house and
Yeah, like-
worship.
That's like at least like once
That's
a
how
week.
it should
Some
have been
churches
always
do
anyway.
twice a week.
Nah,
And
I know none of them was following that rule ever. That is all I had to say.
like I
Not
cannot
even tell.
like I know some churches that have like trouble staying underneath like a 3 hour limit, right? Them men
Yeah.
going to go for more than an hour.
Yeah,
For
very
sure.
true.
Them
Incredibly true.
pastors love to talk, dog.
They actually do.
Yeah.
Is not a joke. Those voices be discussing nothing for a good 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't think the same, boy. I know about that one. With like churches, at least churches, I know you can peaceably social distance. Same thing with like mosques and temples. So it just depends on if the people around them like actually going to enforce all the rules. And we don't know if people are going to enforce the rules that the government is mandating. That's just how it is.
Assuming.
Yeah. Anyways, you all good? Anything else you want to add?
Nah.
No
Stay
way.
safe and don't get COVID.
Yeah. Please protect yourselves, people. Anyways, let me move on. Lachlan,
Yes.
you said you have a Bible story, and I just realized I typoed both your name and the word Bible on my notes.
Lachlan Bible.
Do you have a Bible story? Look?
I do.
Yeah, take it away.
I remember like okay, it's been a while since I've heard this story, and I only read up more of the details on it recently because when you're in school, they only tell you like the very like
Yeah, they tell
rough
you the
details
version
of
that
it.
doesn't make it sound incredibly criminal and
Yeah.
bizarre.
Because like I remember this story like when I told my last Bible story, and I remember like, yo, now that I think about it, this story was kind of fucked up. I know that I'm reading through all the details again. It's more fucked up than I ever realized.
Of course.
But anyway, today's Bible story is the story of Jacob and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
A while ago I told the story. Yeah, a while ago I told the story of their son, Joseph and his siblings because that was fun. And now we go back to how it all started because Jacob was on. Well, not like how it all started because there was like a lot of layers to all of this. But Jacob was on the run from his brother who was trying to kill him because he stole his inheritance, which I feel like is slightly justified. And while he was on the run, he randomly runs into this girl, and this girl's name is Rachel. And now Rachel's, I guess, really pretty. He falls in love with her and stuff, and he's all like, "Yo, I would like to marry her." Also, they were apparently first cousins, so this is the thing. So that's nice and
Incest is
biblical. But
incest,
anyway,
bro.
yeah. So Jacob, he went to stay with Rachel and her family. All was good. Rachel had an older sister named Leah and like a dad. And of course Jacob fell like madly in love with Rachel. So he's like, "Yo, I would like to marry Rachel." And then her father, Laban, was just like, "Bet, you can marry my daughter if you work for me for the next 7 years." And Jacob was so in love with this woman, he said,
Damn.
"Sure." So for 7 straight years, this man went to work for her father because he was so in love with this woman that he wanted to marry her. 7 years go by. He finishes his contract and he's like, "Yo, the time has come. I would like to marry this girl." Laban's like, "Bet." The wedding day comes. Everyone's there. They're ready for the celebration. He goes up. He uncovers the veil and does not see Rachel, but instead sees Rachel's older sister, Leah, because she's older and Laban wanted to marry her off first. And so he was not very happy about this. And then, but yeah, so I guess he had no choice. He married Leah instead of marrying Rachel. And then then Laban like took pity on him and he was like, "No, no, no, it's cool. You can still marry Rachel. You just have to work for me for another 7 years." So Jacob has already gotten like the
Damn.
shittiest end of this deal, but he's in too deep already. So
The
now he
sunken
just
cost
goes.
fallacy in full effect on Jacob.
Always.
Yes. So at this point, he's just like, you know what? Sure. So he married Rachel, and then he ended up having to work another 7 years just to marry the woman that he wanted. He worked 14 years, also he could just marry the woman that he loved. And I believe that's all I heard when I was in primary school. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I thought that story was gonna go on for longer, bro.
Sorry, I got interrupted.
Do you want a
Um,
supplemental Bible story, Joseph?
But anyway,
Yeah, good. We're not gonna
there's
Come
a
on,
talk.
let him
second.
on. Let him sprung.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
me, did you want to take over?
Uh,
Nah.
Take it
There's
away.
a second part to this story that I only found out about recently, and that is, of course, first of all, as you would expect, since Rachel is the woman that Jacob actually wanted to marry, he did not treat Leah well. He had 4 kids with her, of course, but he did not, love her or ever respect her, I guess, because he always caring about
He
the
did
other
not
woman.
respect women.
The
Damn.
classic move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, just like Jacob's father, Jacob was in a situation where his chosen wife, was it his father? Was Jacob Abraham's son? I think he was, yes. And just like his father, Jacob was, no, he was Isaac's son.
Lachlan, you're reading that Bible
Isaac
with your
was
eyes
Abraham's
closed, bro.
Sorry,
Nah,
the
have
family
real,
tree
have
gets
real family
long
trees
and
going on.
complicated. They got real family trees in the Bible. But yeah, so Jacob, just like his father, was stuck in a situation where the wife that he actually wanted to have children with was not capable of conceiving. And so, just like her, I guess, grandmother-in-law before her, Rachel decides, yo, I don't like the fact that my sister is capable of having children when I cannot have children with the man I love. So she randomly pulls her maidservant, and she's just like, yo, do you want to fuck my husband? And she's like, sure. So then Rachel brings her handmaid and has sex with Jacob to have a child from Jacob. And Leah saw this, and Leah was not happy with this. So Leah's just like, yo, do you want to fuck my handmaid? And Jacob's like, all right, bet. And so Jacob also fucked her handmaid.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Jacob just living his best life.
Yeah.
More kids,
So
less
yeah.
problems, bro.
Yeah, so Jacob not only had 4 children from his first actual wife, he then had 2 children from both of his wife's servants. And then, after all of that, Rachel got pregnant, and that is how we got Joseph. And of course, since
Nice.
Joseph is the only legitimate child from the woman he actually loved, that's why he was the only one that ever got treated, with an ounce of respect.
Yeah. And then we saw that panned out for him.
Yeah. So yes, that is the story
What's
of
the
how
moral of the story,
Jacob.
Lachlan?
The
There
moral
is
of
no
this,
moral. If you want to marry somebody
Yeah.
and the dad says wait for me
no,
for 7
because
years, do
everyone
not
gets
accept.
screwed over. Everyone gets screwed over at a different point in this story.
Yeah, it's nothing but
Jacob
pain.
gets screwed over because he has to work for 14 years. Rachel doesn't get her own child for a while. Leah's just unloved and sad.
Bro, taking if you're Leah in the same situation,
Yeah.
you know that he loves your sister, and on the wedding day they put this dress on you. You just had to stand up there and be like, "Yeah, well, I guess I get married to him." No.
Yep. Yeah. Basically, the real villain here is Laban because he is an asshole. And also, cuckolding was apparently a thing way back in the day, and was very popular, evidently.
Yes, naturally.
Yes,
Actually.
naturally.
And that's the tape.
But yeah, that's the Bible story for the week. Jacob got mad hoes, I guess.
He got mad and he got hooked. I don't know if you want to combine.
That's fair, yes.
Mm.
But yeah, anyway, next segment.
Still have some. Actually, yeah, we can move on. All
I have
right.
a supplemental Bible story, but we can save it for next week.
Yeah, just save it.
I want to use up all the material.
Yeah, because we're moving along pretty well here. We're at 45 minutes per us. So. Yeah. So to start off the next segment, I asked all of you for your favorite Pokemon because earlier in this week we were talking about Pokemon designs, And we actually talk about Pokemon designs a lot, I think. It's a topic that we
We
always go
like some
back to.
Pokemon.
So yeah,
You know, I was talking about Pokemon design.
yes, sir. So I've asked all of you for your favorite Pokemon in terms of design. I'm going to ask
Oh,
you
I just
all.
give my favorite Pokemon in general, but I can't talk about the design.
Thank you, Lachlan.
I do
Lachlan.
like designs a lot. It's just that the Pokemon I gave was more like a general answer.
Thank
So-
you, Lachlan.
You're
So
welcome.
yeah, I'm gonna ask you all to talk a little bit about your favorite Pokemon design and why you like that design. Dillon, you are first up.
I like Mimikyu because he
Good
unloved
job.
and he was like, wait,
Man, I was still
wait.
talking.
That's
Damn,
delayed.
just silence
That's
him.
delayed. My bad. Go ahead.
He's like, uh, well, we don't actually know what he is exactly. We just know he underneath the costume. But yeah, he's just be like, I unloved and nobody can be my friend because if they actually look at me, they will die. But they will
Yes.
go crazy because they are scared of me. So I'm just gonna look like Pikachu. And then he just walk around wearing Halloween costume of Pikachu. And I find it very cute, but at the same time it's very terrifying because I want to see what under it. And I like mimics in any form from any game or like fantasy stuff. It's kind of cool.
Henry Delicious. Anyway.
He just wants friends, and I love that. But
Yeah.
he can't have friends because
Also-
he kills them all. It's like
Also-
Zeref from Fairy Tail if Fairy Tail was good.
Yeah.
Unless you
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
with the ability that is making ignore ability.
I forgot.
Mold breaking.
Mold Breaker?
Mold Breaker, yeah.
Yeah. Unless you have Mold Breaker, anything you throw at him, he stand up and take it like a man. So you know, he just you hit him, and he's like,
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
love like
gonna-
these sprite change too because he's be upright and then when you hit him, the
Yeah.
disguise breaks and the
Yeah,
head drops
hold on.
down. I like that interaction a lot. It's very cute.
Nice, it's just that slouching.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I like.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you, Domis.
Lachlan, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Go ahead.
So my favorite Pokemon is Salamence, like in general. The reason
the
is
frisbee.
yes, the frisbee. The reason I really like Salamence is because when I was a kid, I was really obsessed with like fantasy worlds and fantasy stories, and like any like kid who was obsessed with fantasy stuff, I really liked dragons. And so there's an entire type for dragons, and I was like, that's cool, but which Pokemon looks the most like a dragon? And then I looked at Dragonite, and then Dragonite is all like, "Durr." So I was
Don't
like,
be
no,
mean
probably
to
not that.
him.
I love Dragonite now. Dragonite's
Yeah.
also in like my top 10.
Okay, but have you
But,
seen Dragon's Tail?
That
That show.
pot belly.
Or is it Dragon Tails? Dragon
That
of
show.
course, yeah.
Dragonite looks straight out of Dragon Tales.
No, they
Very
do.
true.
Although they honestly look more like dragons than Dragonite does, because they're at least like scaly and shit.
Let me fucking pull up a picture. Hold on.
Yeah.
We'll keep going, yeah.
But then, yeah, and then I looked at Salamence,
Representation.
and I was just like, Salamence looks like a dragon. That is definitely a dragon. And then as a kid, I was just like, yo, no, Salamence is my favorite Pokemon. And since then, whenever I've been asked, what's your favorite Pokemon? It's always been Salamence. But then I've also really grown to appreciate like the story of like its evolutionary line. Because like the whole thing about Bagon that they always talk about is that from the beginning, Bagon's greatest dream is always to fly, and they have like really hard heads because they always jump off of rocks. Because they just want to fly, and they can't fly because they're not like biologically able. And so then they go through their awkward like hikikomori phase where they just like hide inside of a giant shell, and then
I love Shelgon.
yeah,
Shelgon's adorable.
he's just like a ball with legs
Yeah, I love Shelgon.
and like
Leg
eyes.
ball.
Yeah.
And the eyes,
Yeah,
he just
and
looks
then
so
he, like-
intense for how unintimidating
Yeah.
he is.
He's just trying. He's like a dog, honestly.
He's
I don't know.
just
He
staring
gives me
you
that gruffy
down,
energy.
bro. He's making
Yeah.
you feel some type
But
of
then
way
like
about
yeah,
You have the
and then it
exact
just evolves
energy
into this.
that. Go ahead.
Everyone has stopped. No, this evolves into like this giant ass like dragon monster with massive wings, who like immediately learns how to fly, and it's just a really nice story of just like following your dreams, and eventually you might be able to achieve them once you reach level 50.
Eventually,
You
when you hit
know?
level 50.
So just hit level 50, and then all of your dreams will come true.
Sure.
And then when I was,
Very
I
true.
mean, this isn't really related to design, but when I was younger, I never really got to raise his element, and then I had a friend of mine who had a level 1 Salamence trade me his element. And no, he traded me a level 1 Bagon, and then I just trained the Bagon up from there, and it became one of my most used Pokemon. So yeah,
Nice.
love me some Salamence.
Salamence is in Sword and Shield, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I started playing the DLC today, and I saw a Bagon, and I freaked out and immediately caught it.
You didn't try to transfer the one you already have?
Well, I haven't done any transferring. I literally, because I had a headache most of the day, so I literally was just getting past that, and then I was like, I want to start playing this DLC. So I played the DLC for a couple hours, and then I saw that one, and I was just like, yes.
Nice. Have you caught Calyrex yet?
No, I'm still doing the Calyrex side quests.
I got one of the Reggies today.
So far I've just gotten the first Suicune, and I started doing the Calyrex stuff.
Nice.
And I found all the Reggie dungeons and stuff. I'm just trying to get through all the plot first. I'm now trying to do the thing with the carrots.
Pro tip.
Which is where I found
you can
Bagon.
only get one of the new Reggies. You can't get both.
You can't get both?
You cannot get both. I picked the electric one.
Okay, I was going to take the dragon one anyway.
Nice, okay. We could trade.
Great. I'm literally just using you so I can complete the Pokedex like last time.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah,
Meat.
You ready?
Yeah, as a kid, my brain so hard to listen. Yeah, my favorite Pokemon design. Well, I don't know if it's actually my favorite Pokemon design, because I would probably as I think about different Pokemon, the ones that kind of tied to that spot. But the one that comes to mind first, the one I want to go with, is Rayquaza and Mega Rayquaza, because goddamn, the Pokemon is cool. And,
It is really cool.
That Pokemon, yeah, it's the whole streamlined design and all that, and the patterns on it, and how it lights up when using different moves and stuff in the anime and all that. It's just the quintessential cool dragon Pokemon from my youth. And I remember it's because of Rayquaza that I got into Pokemon as a kid, because I didn't really care about Pokemon. And then I watched my cousin playing Pokemon Emerald, and we on evenings would be sitting down around this dude playing Pokemon Emerald and hyping him up. And then I remember the specific moment where I was like, yeah, Pokemon is awesome and I want to play it myself, is when Rayquaza, comes down from the sky and is like, hey yo, calm down, yo bitch. To how your grand Groudon. And that cutscene was at that point in my life, that was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen in a game. And I was like, yo, what is this? And it that lasting impact stayed with me. Rayquaza, because everything about Rayquaza is just so cool to me.
It
this
is.
space dragon that eats meteorites in the upper atmosphere and then annihilates threats to the planet that come in. It's what is up with you? So cool. And it has the Quetzalcoatl inspiration to it as well.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite mythological things. It's hey, there they go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also on the topic of Rayquaza, shiny Rayquaza is freaking beautiful.
Yes, sir.
It's just
Very
big
nice.
and black, and I love that.
Yes, sir.
Remind me to clip that.
Shiny Rayquaza. Do you want me to go looking for it?
Anyways.
Oh, I now realize what you're saying. Sure.
That one's going in the super cut.
Man was sleeping on now.
Yeah.
So guys, we did.
Oh yeah.
Ali, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. Whoops. We'll pull it up. Okay, my favorite is Mudkip.
Yes.
Yes,
All of
sir.
the yes. So much yes. Look at its face.
I love
Look
Mudkip.
at it. You cannot hate that face.
I love Mudkip so much. It's
Do
so
you like
adorable.
Mudkips?
Yes.
Remember when that was a meme?
God.
Back in the mid 2000s. Sorry, continue. I just very much like Mudkip.
Me too. I think he's adorable. He's like a puppy that can swim. Well, puppies can swim usually, but he's supposed to
Like a
swim.
puppy that can swim.
Yeah.
And he has like in the anime, his like very high pitched, cute voice thing going on. I just think he's great. And you just look at him and you get the impression that he's just living his life. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This boy.
I love those water type
confused as
stars
hell.
where you just look at them. I feel like he gives me the same energy as Froki, where he's just kind of like there, just like having a time.
Yeah, he doesn't understand like what battling is or anything. They convey like
He just
so much with that very simple expression that I just love that so much.
Did you watch the Pokemon anime?
Not really.
Like still?
Not
There's
at all.
like the newest episode that came out last week was about like a bunch of Marshtomp that were just kind of like chilling, and then there was one that just gets like buried in the ground and just like is completely unbothered by all aspects of life, and I need that energy in my life.
I don't know. Marshtomp is like the epitome of awkward
No.
puberty stage.
Yeah, Marshtomp. I feel like a lot of stars have that awkward like stage, but it gets out of it well.
It's like
Yeah.
so emphasized with Marshtomp because he's just like a really weird in between point.
I feel like they are all just awkward, and then it turns into Swampert. And I love
if you
Swampert.
compare it to like Grovyle, it's like
Yeah, Grovyle's his own thing, bro. Grovyle's
Grovyle
very
is
there's
comical.
a very stark contrast. Let's say that.
Yeah,
And then there's
And then-
Swampert. Love Swampert.
Swampert's great. I love Swampert. I think it's the only time where I feel like I've changed my favorite starter, because it used to be like Trico, and then I grew up and then was like, you know what, Swampert's pretty cool, and I decided I like Swampert more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all know every single time I play Sapphire, I pick Mudkip. I just love Mudkip so much.
When I play Alpha Sapphire, I pick Mudkip too. I love Mudkip.
Can't relate.
Wow.
I just think he's great.
Except the gang only way.
Oh, and then Mega Swampert is just on roids.
He's
Yeah,
just
man.
buff as fuck.
I'm actually just off of there.
When I remember when the games were coming out, someone had like told me that Mega Swampert just uses Earthquake by punching the ground, and then whenever I've seen it, that's always just my image. That punches the ground so hard it causes an earthquake.
Hell yeah. Just all arms. He likes like the exact same too. It's so funny. But yeah. That's that.
Yeah.
Anyways, you all ready to move on? I feel like we've all
Come on.
This is the Mudkip Appreciation Podcast.
just properly discussed everything we needed to.
Can I just say I'm really glad that Mudkip got out of its awkward teenage phase in a good way, unlike some other Pokemon. Cough, cough, the Sobble line.
Cough, cough, the entire Gen 8 starter collection.
Yeah. I mean, I liked okay, can I just I saw Inteleon and I didn't really like it because I was just like, you tell me I waited for this long to get this.
Yeah.
And
The
then
reason why
yeah.
Inteleon was so underwhelming too is because, like, for me personally, everybody who was like, well, the artists who was like designing what they think are gonna look like, all of them was so
Yeah,
much
they look
better.
so much. All of them look so much better.
Yeah.
Than Inteleon. My biggest
It's not
problem with
even,
Gen 8 designs is that they all just look too human.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
agreed.
it sells, but it kind of backfired.
Yeah.
Also,
the thing is, because
yeah, you got.
Yeah, because I picked Sobble and like the rival picked like Scorbunny, I saw like Inteleon's design first, and I was just like, okay, this makes me very uncomfortable, but I guess I'll go with it. And then I saw Cinderace's design, and I was like, this is okay, I guess. And then like I didn't see Rillaboom's design at first because I was just like, oh, it's like I saw a little bit of it, and I was just like, oh, this actually looks like the best design of the three. And then I actually battled one, and I saw the fucking drum. And I lost my fucking mind because I'm just like, why does it have? It is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. Why the fuck does this monkey have a drum?
But the
I do
G-Max
not
one has
understand.
the entire drum set too.
Yeah, but like, where did it come from?
I wanted to
It's
make
like,
a joke,
why?
but then
Where did
I
it come
can't.
from when it's battling? Does it pick it up and carry it around? What happens if it gets knocked away from the drum? Does it have to run back to the drum to fight with it? It does not make sense. It is not a viable weapon.
Yeah. And then also, like when I first saw Inteleon, my immediate reaction was like, this dude he's like definitely on some kind of watch list.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And
I
Inteleon
saw one
just
that was nicknamed
creeps
Pro
me out.
Jared, and then I was just like, okay, yeah, that fits too well.
Yeah, Inteleon just looks creepy to me. It's not appealing in any sense. They went for like this slick, smooth design, like he's supposed to be like a spy, like James Bond. He does not convey that at all.
No, he just looks. Yeah.
He just looks creepy.
There was like one Inteleon design I saw that I liked, which was like they put them all in like white cloaks. I could probably find the picture somewhere, but like they gave all the Pokemon like these like stylish white cloaks, and only
like the
then did I, like,
KKK?
oh, no, like just like white like jackets.
Cinderace
I like
like
the
he'd be in the
design.
KKK.
No,
Yeah.
I give him more credit than that.
That's why he's split football.
What does that mean?
Okay. I found different Inteleon. I found different like art of the 3 starters, but then this one Cinderace looks good. The others look awful. Basically, in conclusion, Cinderace is the only good Gen 8 starter.
This is the most competitively viable one.
That too. It's the Greninja of our time.
Yeah. Because Greninja is
Except
not in the
Chestnut's also
game.
pretty cool.
I don't know,
Greninja's
just
not in
not
the
kind of
game, yeah.
garbage, bro.
I mean, like overall, yeah. But at least it's not Delphox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, you all even want to like bother talking about childhood TV shows because you've gone for an hour.
We can save that for another week.
Yeah, I'll just save it for next week. Because you've been for
Yeah.
now. Alright, closing remarks. Dillon.
I don't like Mudkip, I don't care.
What
the fuck?
is... Alright.
Why? How? Jonathan, this is your friend. You brought him into this.
Well, but Lachlan, closing remarks. I'm just gonna ignore it.
Mudkip is adorable. Dillon is a hater. Also, watch out for your mental health because that's important.
Yes, sir. Meat.
Yeah.
I think meat is here.
What's up? Wasn't paying attention.
Closing remarks, meat. Closing remarks.
Closing remarks. Close the podcast. That's my closing remark.
Sharma. Still muted.
Well done, Sharma. That's a good closing remark there. That's a good one.
Honestly,
Alright.
the best.
From
Just
everybody
leave them
here.
guessing.
This has been
Yes.
BTA Podcast episode 11. Thank you for coming out. Alright, everybody say goodnight.
Nah.